This is my response to the cross-examination questions from the negative side of the abortion debate and healthcare options. The first question was, what evidence is there of child abuse being linked to abortions and how abortions may help the rates of child abuse? So, child abuse, neglect, and maltreatment is a huge problem in the United States, with about 3 million cases reported by CPS of neglect, maltreatment, and child abuse. Abortion availability can reduce the number of unwanted children, which leads to less child abuse. Child abuse cases are usually linked to parents, mothers, or fathers letting out a lot of anger and frustration towards unwanted children and an unplanned child, which automatically leads to the child getting abused and ending up in foster care homes. Abortion legalization has led to an improvement in average living conditions of children, and in the article called Child Abuse and Abortion states that the improvement is primarily due to changes in composition of women who gave birth. The second question is about the cost of an abortion and the cost of a child, and how abortion is still expensive. Well, an abortion is very pricey and it isn't cheap, but having a child is a lot more expensive than having an abortion. Consumer Expenditure Survey from 2015 says that a family will spend approximately $12,000 annually on a single child. And the price of having a child and the expenses increase as the child grows older. So obviously, when they become a teenager and grow older, it is a lot more expensive. And not only is it just for shelter, food, and basic necessities, but when they get older, you have insurance, you have the child starts driving, you have to pay for the child's college, and especially when they're a teenager. And $12,000 a year per child is just when they're young. So that will increase as they get older. So in the end, having a child will add up to be way more than having an abortion, because an abortion may be a couple grand, but you're spending more than a couple grand per year on a child, which will obviously add up over the years. That also leads to the third question, which was, how does poverty link to abortions and not having an abortion? That also connects with question number 2, because the more children there are, unwanted children, the more a family will struggle, which will lead to a family living in poverty. Because again, $12,000 a year is not cheap, and of course that increases as they grow older, which may lead to families to struggle. And if abortion is legalized and families can choose if they can afford a child or not, that can definitely help them a lot. And the more children that are born and living in really unstable conditions, that leads to more children living in poverty. Because at the end of the day, there's a lot of children living in poor conditions and poverty simply because their families just cannot afford it. So abortion legalization will definitely help living conditions and poverty, and that will mean less families in poverty overall. And that was it. Thank you.